Hello, everyone, and welcome to this workshop. My name is Andre Larrabee, and I'm the president of the Seven Figure Advisor. Well, I want to thank you for coming to this workshop named The 5 Steps to Freedom. I expect to be done in 37 minutes. Let me just say that this workshop is normally done face-to-face. However, due to COVID-19, I had to adapt the content. Now, normally this workshop is a full morning or afternoon, but I've adapted the workshop to be just 37 minutes. My purpose today is to help you as a business owner to increase your profitability, build an amazing team, and free up your time. I'm positive that you would love to have these things in your life and business. Well, congratulations, you've come to the right place. Another purpose I have today is to help you as a business owner to increase the value of your business by investing in a business education and coaching resources that are right for you. And doing that will help you increase your profitability, build an amazing team, and free up your time. So I want to welcome you again today and congratulate you for being here. Now please stay to the end. I expect the workshop to be no more than 37 minutes. Just a little bit about me before we jump into the 5 Steps of Freedom. My name is Andre Larrabee, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Seven Figure Advisor. For the last 25 years, I've been helping business owners and sometimes cities with developing a plan to turn things around in Canada and the United States. I've earned an MBA and a PhD in business administration. I'm a certified master business coach, a certified executive coach, and a registered corporate coach. I'm the author of 13 books and a bestseller on Amazon. I have 3 amazing adult children, and I'm proud to be a grandfather to 2 beautiful kids, all under the age of 2. So that's a little bit about me. And here are some of those books I've told you about writing. How to Grow 10 Times Your Business in 12 to 24 Months. Living a Life of Abundance, 7 Steps to Achieve It. Business Turnaround Methods, a 120-day program to restore your business. Commercial Debt Negotiation, practical advice for reducing your commercial debt, and Business Turnaround Coaching. And here's 2 more of the books that I've written, Business Growth Strategies, and my latest, Not Available, on Amazon, which I co-authored with Steve Hackney from the UK. Steve is the CEO of a very successful business mentoring training organization and a good friend of mine. In my teaching, I always use my books as a reference since it's all non-academic. I taught for 14 years at college in the Management Studies department, and I always told my students that books are great, but work practicum is better. Well, entrepreneurship is thriving, as many of you know, being in small business as you are. In the United States, we have over 7.2 million businesses that have enough substance and enough growth to have payroll employees. Fascinatingly, 98% of these businesses have fewer than 100 employees. Now, some of you have probably heard of SCORE, which is the Service Corps of Retired Employees, and they've done some research that helps us understand why 90% of small businesses fail in 10 years. 78% of them lack a solid plan. 73% of them are overly optimistic about their ability to sell, to generate revenue. 77% are not pricing their products or services properly, and this is probably the scariest one. 70% don't recognize or even ignore their weaknesses and don't seek help. Well, the good news is business coaches reverse this trend. And so what is a business coach? A business coach is a person who comes into the life of a business owner and mentors the entrepreneur in growing their business so that the incremental cash flow more than pays for their customized education. So that's what I do. I'm a business coach and a business development consultant, and I'm really passionate about all the content that we're going to be discussing today for that reason. Can I be your coach for the next 45 minutes? Let's begin with the way we think. Just a couple of concepts about the way we think. Every successful entrepreneur knows that there are challenges in life and challenges with growing a business. But the real difference between a successful entrepreneur and the one who's not successful is the way we react to challenges. We basically have 2 ways that we can react to the challenges that life sends our way, and we refer to this concept of being above or below the line. Now, when life or business sends us a challenge, we can do one of 2 things. We can either blame everything around us, we blame ourselves, we blame the economy, blame the government, blame our employees, blame our spouse, blame our business partner. We can always find someone or something to blame. But what we know in our experience as business coaches is that successful entrepreneurs discipline themselves to stay above the line. So instead of blaming, they take a posture of learning. So another way to say this is that you can be a victim or you can be a victor. And what it comes down to is how you react to the challenges, and that will determine whether you win or lose in business. And what it comes down to is how you react to the challenges, and that will determine whether you win or lose in business. So at least for the next 45 minutes, let's all be above the line and learn something about business today. Well, one of the keys to learning is understanding what we call the aha zone. And I'm going to take you on a little journey over the next hour or so to learn some things about business. The aha zone is basically that place we pass through when we're learning new things. Every time we step into something new, even if it's running a new business. I'm sure there are a lot of you in this workshop today who can really relate to what I'm talking about. Whenever we learn something new, our skill level is low and our confidence is low. And so what that means is that we have a pretty high level of anxiety. How many of you are in the middle of something new right now and are feeling this? The good news is that if we persevere through that process of learning the new stuff, our skill level will eventually begin to increase, and so will our confidence, and our anxiety and our fear will come down. And pretty soon we'll look back and say, wow, I think I've passed through the aha zone. I'm feeling pretty confident. My skill has come up. I'm starting to make money. This is just the way that business and life work. Now, specifically for business owners, there's a lot to learn. And from decades of coaching and consulting small business owners, small to mid-sized companies just like the ones you run, the ones I've run, we've found that businesses go through a very predictable set of organizational developmental steps. It's funny, each developmental step on what we call the 5 steps of freedom requires passage through the aha zone. We call these the 5 steps to freedom in business. So you're going to pass through these things, and as long as you stay above the line and learn not to blame, and as long as you move to the aha zone and don't give up, you can pass through these 5 steps to freedom in business. And so let me explain to you each of these 5 steps. The first step in the 5 steps to freedom is the step we call, well, you can read it here on the screen, creation. It's called the creation step. How many of you have ever actually taken a business through the creation step and know exactly what I'm talking about? If so, just put something in the chat window. But you know what I'm talking about. Every business comes into the market in this place of, basically, being irrelevant to the marketplace because it's being created. And your business is not relevant, and what you're typically doing at that stage is you're researching. You're trying to figure out what kind of business model will work in your market. You're beginning to create the model so that you can go to the market and make money. And if you've taken a business through this step, you know what I'm talking about. Now, one of the things that we also know is that buying a business that already exists or buying a franchise can help you skip the creation step and come right into the market with a good and proven model. But a lot of people start from scratch. Now, for those of you who have owned your own business right now, and you're not a franchise business owner, independent business owner, you're either passing or have passed through this creation phase. You're figuring out how to make money, and once you've rolled that out, you head into what's called the chaos phase. And the chaos phase is red for a reason. It's because there's usually a lot of bloodshed at this step. And boy, there's 3 things that go on in the chaos step. You're spending money like crazy, you're investing and driving your business to grow, and you're building a team to help your business break through and survive another day. It's just such a challenge because you have to just push through the chaos and get this thing on the road. So many challenges that we can face when we're taking a business through the chaos step. But when we make it, we come to the 3rd step, which is control. And at the control step, what you're doing in your business is you're starting to generate some cash flow. As you generate cash flow and your operations become more organized and predictable, you begin to measure what's going on in your business and incentivizing your team members to find and make adjustments on how you're running the business. Because what you're doing is trying to get your business to continue expanding into the 4th step, which we call prosperity. And what you're doing there is we're focusing on economizing your business. We are economizing and systemizing optimizing our operations, trying to squeeze more efficiency out of the business, and trying to make some profit. And with that profit, we're typically investing in more assets and higher quality team members, so we also specialize in our areas or expertise, which allows the business to keep on growing. We're also leveraging at this stage, paying back some of the debt that we've accumulated, either through investments or loans, as we plowed through the chaos stage. And when we get through the prosperity stage, we then have the ability to move into the freedom stage. And the freedom stage is just this wonderful place where we can reproduce the business, we can start new chapters or outlets, we can acquire other businesses, we can harvest and enjoy the fruits of our labor in the form of free cash flow, free time, and freedom of mind. Many people go into business because they dream of freedom. Michael Gerber has written probably the most authoritative book. It stood the test of time. It's called The E-Myth, and he talks about the entrepreneurial myth, the myth that anyone can come in and start a business and do well and have all your dreams come true, and that's really what motivates a lot of people to start a business. But the reality, what most people learn in business, is that we start a business and getting through these 5 steps takes a lot longer than we think, because most people who start a business are technicians. We're good at building a house, cutting hair, doing whatever, and you can be doing a business based on what you're good at. But learning how to be a great business owner can take a little longer than most people expect. And so my job today, what I want to do, my purpose, is to teach you how to increase your profitability, build an amazing team, free up time for yourself. In short, I want to help you accelerate your way through the 5 steps to freedom, and that's my mission today. Which step are they focused on? Learn as much as you can, because our goal is to help you move through the 5 steps as quickly as possible. Now, as coaches, one of the things we've learned is that at every one of these 5 steps, there are specific strategies that will accelerate your process through these steps. So let me ask you this. How much value would there be in knowing which 3 or 4 things you need to focus on, depending upon which step you're on in your business? How much value would there be in that? Well, with that, I want to introduce you to what we call our 21 silver bullets. It's a metaphor for a simple, seemingly magical solution for a difficult problem. There are strategies to get you through each of the 5 steps to freedom. I'm going to take you on a quick tour of how we build these 21 silver bullets into your business. What we're going to do is build each of these 21 silver bullets into your business as we go through each of these steps to freedom. And again, the challenges that most business owners have is that you don't know what few things you should be focused on. And so my job as a coach is to help you make sure you're working on the right strategies depending upon what step you're on in your business. Because that's going to help you accelerate the growth of your business faster than you would if you were just scratching around trying to figure it out on your own. So here's our list of 21 silver bullets. As we go through this list, what I'd like you to do is think about which of these silver bullets stand out to you. Which of these silver bullets do you think you need the most? We've got a few that help you recapture your time. So if you're in a situation where you're feeling like your business is just consuming your entire life and you don't have enough time in the day. So if you're in a situation where you're feeling like your business is just consuming your entire life and you don't have enough time in the day, we typically work on one of these 4: a time management plan, operations training manual, apprenticeship plan, and a comprehensive exit strategy. We have 10 silver bullets that help you build a high-quality team and can run the business for you. So, a strategic plan, team building system, KPI system, performance incentive plan, employee acquisition plan, psychometric profiling process, team meeting rhythm, lean program, organizational plan, and a leadership development plan. So, if your issues are around team, those are the strategies we focus on first. And then, we've got silver bullets to help you improve your profitability and cash flow. USP and guarantee, revenue and profit budget, current business plan, break-even plan, tactical marketing plan, sales management plan, and cash gap plan. So those are the 21 silver bullets. So which of these do you believe you need the most help with and will be the most beneficial to your business? I'll leave this slide on for a bit so you can read it and absorb the content. So, the first silver bullet we can focus on at the creation step is the unique selling proposition and guarantee. And really, what we need to do is help you differentiate your business. To do this, we need to understand the diffusion of innovation theory. And it's a theory that seeks to explain the life cycle of new ideas and technologies. Here's how it works. Whenever a new technology or a new idea comes to market, a very small group, about 2.5% of the innovators, will take it on, try the technology, and implement the idea. And then you move into the early adopter phase, and you've got a growing percentage of those who will try it out. Then you've got the early majority picking up steam, late majority, and then finally the laggards. So let me ask you this question. Where do you want to be on this curve if you want to make a profit in your business? Think about it. Where do you want to be on the diffusion of innovation curve to make a profit in your business? Every business has to make sure that the products and/or services that they're selling are on the left-hand side of this innovation curve to make a profit. Let's explore why this is true. Any of you get a sense of which of these silver bullets would be most helpful to work on in your business? So that's the creation step. And so here's my point. You may, as a business owner, need to rethink, reimagine your business and differentiate yourself and figure out a way to get into the early adopter, early majority phase. Then your job is to educate your market on your unique selling proposition and guarantee. So you've got to find a unique selling proposition that puts you at the right place in the curve. You've got to develop a guarantee that removes the risk. And then, small business owners, you must be amazing communicators. One of the attributes of the early adopter phase is that people just don't know very much about what makes you different. So you've got to communicate. After you've worked through the creation stage, you're ready to launch into the chaos phase. The focus here is to invest in the growth of your business with the help of your team. The first silver bullet we focus on at the chaos step is your financial model. As your coach, the best thing I can do to help you get through the chaos stage is to make sure your financial model is sound. We have to know that you can make a profit in your business. Now, how many of you have seen this break-even chart before? At the chaos step, our number one goal is hitting that magic break-even number as fast as we can. And that's shown graphically here with the big round circle marked break-even. Most new businesses never make it past this break-even point, or don't make it fast enough and run out of cash. So let me explain this chart to you and show you how it works. A lot of business owners just really don't understand the drivers that impact their break-even number. So every business has a set of fixed costs, which you can see here are shown with this red line at $500,000. And the goal of the business is, of course, to keep these as low as possible. But some of them you just have to have. And then you've got variable costs shown in orange, also called cost of sales by many people. These are the costs that are directly related to every unit that you sell. And when you add your variable cost to your fixed cost, you get total expenses, which is shown here in the gray line. So revenue has to grow to a point where your revenue is higher than your total expenses. And when you do that, you pass over break-even, and you get the place that we call, of course, net profit. Now the goal is to figure out exactly what your break-even number is and keep it as low as possible by being ruthlessly conservative with your expenses, while also driving revenue as hard and fast as you can. We drive revenue, of course, using the tactical marketing plan and sales management system, and we build a team as we go. Now, the beautiful and amazing thing about understanding your break-even financial is that if you just pay attention to a couple of key things, you can, very quickly, move your business up and into this profit zone and even head toward maximum utilization. This is a condition where you're driving the business as hard as you can with the existing assets. So what are the two things you're trying to do? You're trying to lower your fixed costs and you're trying to drive sales. How do we drive our revenues? We do it with the silver bullets called the Tactical Marketing Plan and the Sales Management Plan. To understand how these two silver bullets work together, we use the profit equation. So that's the first of the two different psychosymmetric profiles we use. The Team Dimensions profile deals with getting team members in the right seat of the bus, on the right role in your business. The second one deals with getting them to play nicely or exhibit the right kind of behavior with each other. And that is what moves us into the control step. The control step, unlike the chaos step, is this beautiful place, and there's a reason we color it green. That's because it's characterized by cash, the presence of cash. And so, as you think about the control step, one of the questions I would love to hear from some of you, have you ever made it through the bloody chaos stage into the control step of a business? Have any of you ever experienced this? Because this is a recorded workshop, we'll not be able to see your answers, but at least think about these questions. You'll be able to identify it. It's just a beautiful, amazing experience. Now let's look at just a couple of key concepts here. One of the things we do is we manage, and we teach you how to manage your cash. And the cash gap principle is so important when businesses hit the control step. Businesses that hit that step will lose control of their cash very quickly, but the cash gap concept is a very basic one. You buy in inventory in most cases, and in some cases, even if you're a service-based business, the inventory that you're buying is time in the form of payroll expense. But you buy in inventory, the inventory arrives, and you take time to add value to that inventory, and that inventory ships at 60 days. Now, you may negotiate a 30-day payable term, and you become liable to make that payment at 30 days. But you've taken an additional 30 days until you're ready to ship that inventory at day 60. And then, very often after you've shipped the inventory, shipped the product, you give in terms to customers, either willingly or unwillingly. And then you've got to collect the receivables. The difference between the time that your cash is paid and the time your cash is received is called the cash gap, and it's a killer in business. So one of the things that we do is teach you how to do what Dell has done, which is to reduce your cash gap, if possible, to zero. Now, I wonder how many of you have heard how Dell manages its cash. If you've ever purchased a Dell, they've actually got a negative cash gap. If you've ever purchased a Dell, they've actually got a negative cash gap. The way they do it is you actually pay them your money for the computer. They go out and buy in their parts. Then they make the computer. But what do they do with the money that they've collected from you while they're still making your computer? They're taking that money and they're investing it. So they're actually making interest on that money you've paid while they make your computer, and then they ship it out to you. And then, of course, they've negotiated amazing terms with their vendors, and they're hanging on to your cash as long as possible. So they've actually had your cash and had it earning interest for them while they've been making your computer. It's amazing, and it's actually what's called a negative cash gap. So our job as your coach is to help you manage your cash to reduce that cash gap, preferably from 90 days to zero or even negative. When you do that, you're able to have the cash in your business to address, once and for all, what people call the engagement problem. And here's an interesting concept called the cash gap, and we pay a lot of attention to this when we're working with our clients at the control step. Now, the cash gap very simply says, every time I make a sale, it's going to cost me money to deliver that sale. I might have to buy in materials, add value to them, and ship them out. I might have to employ people to add the value to whatever I bought them. But the cash gap concept is very simple. That is, I have to somehow pay for what I have to do to complete the delivery on that before I get my cash in. So here's how it looks graphically. Say I make a sale and I buy in my inventory. I have 30 days to pay back that vendor. But then I take another 30 days and I add value. I buy the product or whatever it is, then I ship it, and then it takes me another 90 days to receive my money from that customer. What's my total cash gap in days at that point by looking at the graph? 90. So for 90 days I've paid out cash, but I don't get cash back from my customer. Now, this illustrates how many of you have ever purchased a Dell computer by any chance. Any of you purchased a Dell? Does anyone know what the Dell cash gap is? Okay, the Dell cash gap is actually negative. They actually pay them the money. Then they go out and buy the parts. They make it. What do they do with the money while they're still making it? They're taking the balance of it, the profit part of your payment, and they're investing it. So they're actually making interest on the portion of what you paid while they make it, and then they ship it out. So what we're going to do in your business is work closely with you to figure out how to shorten your cash gap so you don't have to borrow as much. Your interest costs come down and you make more profit. And so that's one of the key The first one is managing your cash flow. The number one thing that puts businesses out of business when they reach the control step is cash flow. How many of you have ever been involved in a business where the business started growing so fast that you kind of lost control of the financial performance and then started to struggle with cash? Have you ever been involved in a business like that? Have you ever run a business like that? So what we do is we really introduce some financial sophistication. We manage liquidity ratios and profitability ratios. One of the main ratios we look at in terms of managing cash is the current ratio. This looks at how much cash you have versus what your obligations are on a regular basis. So that's one of the things that we'll do as we work together. So we'll benchmark you against your competitors and introduce some strategies to help you manage your cash flow. A guy named Tom Peters described the problem this way. He said, "How many employees are motivated, energetic, committed, enthusiastic, and loyal, except for the 8 hours they work for you?" And that's called the engagement problem. I've talked a lot about it in HR circles, people just not caring about what they do. One of the other key concepts we work on a lot is the issue of people. Most employees are motivated, energetic, committed, enthusiastic, and loyal, except for the 8 hours they work for you. A wise man once said. And one of the things we find is that as your business starts growing and the cash flow begins to stabilize, you tend to start beefing up your staff and your team. And one of the big things we'll work on here as we're taking you through the control step is how to build a team that really works hard and really produces. And there's a couple of ways we do that. But the secret that hiring pros know is that hiring is like fishing. The firms that get the best people are the ones that get a lot of fish on the deck and are very choosy. So one of the things that we're going to teach you how to do at this control step is cut your mishire rate. Cut the rate at which you're hiring the wrong people, and we teach you how to do that through job matching. One of the ways we do that is being careful how we hire. Hiring is like fishing. The firms that get the best people are the ones that get a lot of fish on the deck, so they can be choosy. One of the things we're going to teach you how to do is to make sure that when your business starts growing and producing cash flow, that you're very choosy about the quality of the people that you bring into your team so that you don't have people wasting your time and money. So rather than risking that, we'll teach you how to hire and reduce your mishire rate to less than 15%, and we use a bunch of sophisticated tools to do that. Now, as we go, we're going to need to assign people KPIs, and in order for people to stay motivated, we're going to have to know how their performance is being measured. Even if they're in the right seat on the bus, they need to know how their performance is being measured. So to accomplish that, we're going to help you choose and measure the right KPIs in your business. So, for example, a manufacturer might be concerned about things like units produced per hour, gross profit per unit sold, product returns. And if we've got a whole team of people running a manufacturing unit or a manufacturing business, we can have the right people in the right roles who will be concerned about these things, and their compensation plans can be tied to the KPIs. And the last thing at this step is related to KPIs, which is how we measure the performance of the people you hire. So these are some of the key concepts that we work on when we're taking you through the control step. When you've gone through the control step, you've organized, you've measured, you've adjusted your business model. Then we can move you into the prosperity step, and this is where we economize the business, invest, and repay. Well, all of that brings us to the prosperity step, which is how we economize the business, so we can invest in more assets and continue to repay debt. The first step is the concept of eliminating waste. Has anybody heard the concept of lean thinking by any chance? In lean thinking, our whole goal when we have a business at the prosperity level, we now have such a large business, so many people, so many moving parts, the level of complexity is so high. If we don't take time to really optimize what we're doing by eliminating waste, our profitability will never be what it can be. So this is based on a whole discipline of thought developed by the Japanese and a bunch of others over many years, and we look at the 7 areas of business. So we're going to help you identify and eliminate wasteful production, inventory, motion, and defects. We are going to help you cut all that stuff out of your business so you can make a really strong and healthy profit. We'll help you identify and eliminate waste. But when you've done that, you're in a position to move your business into the freedom phase or the freedom setup. And that's what really gets you to the freedom step, and so we're going to talk about that at your table. So, like I said at the beginning, one of the things I'm going to do is teach you how to build a team to run your business for you so that you can have time for yourself. And along the way, what we'll do is we'll help you delegate certain tasks you shouldn't be doing because you're not as effective at them as other people on your team, and we'll help you work your way out of your business. The goal is to delegate roles from bottom to top. We use the Work of Leaders framework. This is based on a 4-year development effort by the Wiley Company, a Fortune 1000 company and the owners of Everything Disc brand. They analyzed and distilled the work of leadership researchers from the last 3 decades. And with the help of 300 subject matter experts from more than 150 organizations, identified a specific set of leadership best practices that we call the Work of Leaders framework. Work of Leaders provides a simple 3-step process to help you reflect on how you approach the most fundamental work of leaders: crafting a vision, building alignments around that vision, and champion execution of the vision. How do we define leadership? Work of Leaders approaches leadership as a one-to-many relationship, as opposed to the one-on-one relationship of management. So friends, these are the 5 steps to freedom, and the thing to remember is that any business can have access in this day and age to the technologies, the best practices, and the processes that I've just outlined through business coaching. So that's the 5 steps to freedom. Think about which of these strategies, these 21 silver bullets, do you believe you need the most help with and will be the most beneficial to your business? Which silver bullets do you need the most? And so really, there's 2 ways that you can go from here. The one is to keep trying to improve your business on your own. And the second is to do what every winner does, which is to invest in your education, your business education, with the help of a coach. Okay, well folks, there's 2 ways that you can go at this point. The first one is to keep trying to improve your business on your own. And the second is to do whatever a winner does, which is to invest in your education with the help of a coach. And you know as well as I do that every winner in every pursuit, whether it's sports, academics, your career, it doesn't matter. Every winner has a great coach. And so what I want to do right now is I want to show you a little bit about how coaching works. Folks, we all know that every winner in life has a great coach, whether it's sports, academics, or your career. And business is no different. Every winner has a great coach. So what I will do now is I will show you a little bit about coaching and how it works. One option is to sign up for a complimentary coaching session with me, Rapid Business Growth Session. And here's what we're going to do is we take you through this coaching process. Step 1, we're going to clarify your vision and your goals. We need to know what your dreams are. But here's what we're going to do in the coaching program. The first step is we're going to clarify why you went into business in the first place. We need to understand what your dreams are. We need to understand what your current goals are. We understand what your wealth creation goals are. We need to figure all that out. It may be that your dream is to get all the way to this freedom step in your business where you've got free cash, free time, and freedom of mind. But you may just really love your business and really want to stay actively involved in it. Maybe your vision is just to get to the prosperity step where you've got so much free time, free cash flow. We need to know what your goals, what your visions are, and then we'll start to be in a position to complete your strategic plan. We talked about the 5 STF today. Which of these steps do you want to reach? Maybe you just wanted to reach prosperity and have a wonderful lifestyle business? And step 4 is all you really want in your business. Maybe you dream of having multiple streams of income and you want to take your business to step 5 so that you can duplicate it, franchise it, or invest in other businesses? Whatever the case, we need to clarify your vision and your goals. We're going to think through the battle plan to get you from where you are now to where you want to be, and that strategic planning process is always accomplished within a month, and sometimes within just a couple of weeks. So the next step after that is really developing and completing your strategic plan. We've got to make sure that what we're doing with your business is really carefully thought out and absolutely deliver the income you need to achieve your dreams and your ideal lifestyle. We are going to complete your strategic plan. This can go very quickly. If and only if we are a good fit, we can commence your weekly coaching. We will make sure that you are being held accountable week in and week out to do things on a weekly basis that are going to get you where you want to go. What you've done so far will not bring you where you want to go. Coaching is the fastest, most powerful way to develop leaders. So go to timewithandre.com and book yourself in. I'm going to take you through a process of helping you identify where you are in the 5 steps to freedom and which silver bullets need to be developed into your business. We'll look forward to seeing the results that we get as we work together. timewithandre.com. We invest in people by understanding what their constraints are and then putting them on a very specific leadership development track. Now, most businesses, where the business owner has a business at this level, is really looking for an opportunity where they can plan their succession. We'll take you through that process to develop a path that will give you your freedom. And the beautiful thing is, you can absolutely get your business to the point where it throws off cash flow, but it doesn't consume your time, and that's what brings you to a place of freedom. Not long ago, I was in a coaching session with one of our personal clients, Sam. He runs a small accounting firm. They've been going a few years and have around 50 business clients. Like many business owners, Sam thought he had a lead generation problem. But like the legions of businesses we work with, we knew it was not a lead generation problem. It was a system problem. In other words, he does not have an easy-to-apply business growth formula in place, which builds his business on autopilot. After listening to Sam tell me about his challenges, I sat back and said, "Look, the good news is you don't have a lead generation problem. You just need to put in place a business growth system based on a proven formula that leverages the 5 key components of your business. Right now, you're trying to tap into just one of them, lead generation, and doing it unsuccessfully. But when you apply the formula, everything changes in an instant." Over the last 6 months, Sam has applied the formula, and the business has more than doubled in size, with very little increase in costs. You can visit the21silverbullets.com and complete the survey prior to our complimentary coaching session. Now that you've completed the 21 Silver Bullets survey and have sent it to me, you can go ahead and schedule your appointment.